Alright, section 11.1, which is the first section of preparing a budget on utility expenses. Utilities, these are services such as electricity, gas, water, sewer, etc. that are charged to you for use in your home. Problem number 1. Emily's last water bill listed a previous reading of 7,123 CCF and a present reading of 7,171 CCF. Her water company charges 73 cents per CCF of water. What should Emily have been charged on her last bill? So you take your current reading, which is 71.71. You subtract off your previous reading of 71.23 to find the difference for your new month. That's 48 CCF for that month times 73 cents per CCF gives you a total bill of $35.04. Question 2 is referring to, and fix that page number for me, page 665, number 4, which is off to the right hand side there, the table in blue. The previous reading, okay, the previous reading is 21,780, which is listed right here where it says previous reading, 21,780. The present reading is off to the right hand side of that, which is 24,100. How many kilowatt hours of electricity did the bill use during the service period shown? So again, you take your present, which is 24,100, minus the previous, which is 21,780, which gives you a difference of 2,320 kilowatt hours. Part D. What did Watco charge per kilowatt hour of electricity? Well, you got to look at the usage, which is, we figured it out, 23,020, divided by the cost. The amount billed was $255.20. Divide those two and gives you 11 cents per kilowatt hour. E, the bill covers 31 days of electricity. What was Bill's average daily expense for electricity for this service period? So you take your total amount, which is $255.20, divided by 31 days of electricity service, gives you $8.23 per day. Number 3, the PA system at North High School requires 400 watts when it is switched on. How much would it cost to run for 3 hours at a cost of 10 cents per kilowatt hour? So it requires 400 watts, okay, and we are going to divide that by 1,000 because kilo is 1,000, all right, so 400 divided by 1,000 for a kilowatt. We're trying to find out how much watts. Okay, gives you 40 cents per kilowatt hour. Okay, you take your 40 cents, multiply it by 3 hours, it gives you 1.2 kilowatts. It costs 10 cents per kilowatt hour, so 1.2 times 0.10 is 12 cents. So again, 400 divided by 1,000, it's 1,000 because we have a kilowatt. A kilowatt is 1,000 watts. All right, and that's where we get the 0.4 from. And then you take your 0.4 times 3 hours, and then multiply by the cost, 10 cents per hour, gives you 12 cents total. Last winter, Ann charged $838.35 for 9,315 kilowatt hours of electricity. What did her company charge per kilowatt hour of electricity? So you take your total amount charged, which is $838.35, divided by the kilowatt hours of electricity, which is 93.15. That gives you 9 cents per kilowatt hour. Number 5. Jessica's parents are always telling her to turn off the lights when she leaves the room. A light bulb requires 75 watts to run when it is turned on. The fixture in Jessica's room requires 4 of these bulbs. Jessica's parents estimate that she leaves the lights on unnecessarily for 2.5 hours per day. How many watt hours of electricity are used by these bulbs during 2.5 hours? So you have a 75 watt bulb times 4 bulbs for her room gives you 300 total watts. Okay, 300 total watts times 2.5, all right, for 2.5 hours gives you 750 watt hours. Okay, so all the bulbs are on for 2.5 hours, 750 watt hours. Part B, approximately how many kilowatt hours of electricity are used in a year to keep these bulbs lit for 2.5 hours per day? So you take your 750 watts, divided by 1,000 so we could find our kilowatts. This is our kilowatt hours conversion. Okay, so 750 divided by 1,000 gives you 0.75. 0.75 times 365 days gives you 273.75 kilowatt hours. Okay, because that's what the electricity company uses to charge you. So you got to convert it to kilowatt hours. At a cost of 9 cents per kilowatt hour, how much money is wasted per year by keeping these lights on unnecessarily? So you take your 273.75 times 9 cents gives you 24.6375. And the electricity company will round up. So we're rounding up to the nearest dollar. So that 0.6 rounds the 24 to a 25. So $25 to keep those light bulbs on unnecessarily. If 5 million teenagers keep lights on, as Jessica does, how much is wasted unnecessarily on electric expenses? So 5 million people, or 5 million teenagers, times $25 is $125 million of wasted electricity. Number 6 refers to page 666, so fix that for me, please. And it's referring to the table over here that's kind of yellowish at the bottom. It says Ron Sargent's electric bill from the Longwood Power Authority is shown. If his meter reading for December 17th is $52,344, find the total charges for the December bill. Include all rates and charges as shown on the November bill. So this bill off to the right hand side here is the Longwood Power Authority for November. Okay, and the reason we know that is if you look right here, we have October 17th through November 17th. So that's 1 month, and you're going to pay it in November. All right. His reading on December 17th, 1 month after his last bill, was $52,344. So you're going to take your $52,344, which is your new reading, and you're going to subtract off your last reading, which is right here, $50,361. So it gives you a total new amount of $1,983. You're going to take your 1983 and multiply it by 0.095, okay, which is shown right here. All right, 0.095, okay, and that gives you a charge of $188.39. This is for 30 days, so they charge you 18 cents for 30 days, so that's $5.40. Okay, and that charge comes in right here. All right, so it's going to be 18 cents at 30 days instead of 31 days. Okay, so that's like a service charge. So you're going to add those two together, $5.40 for your service charge plus the amount of electricity used of $188.39 gives you a subtotal of $193.79 when you add them together. And then there is a 3% tax, which is listed right over here. All right, sales tax, 3%. So 3% of $193.79. So you do 193.79 times 0.03 gives you $5.81 in tax. Add those two together to find out your total final bill, $199.60. Number 7 we are not going to do. We're not going to worry about that conversion. Last problem for this section is number 8. In September 1997, the average cost for 1 gallon of home heating oil in New York City was $1.01.92 per gallon. By September 2008, it had risen to $4.173 per gallon. What was the percent increase in those 11 years? Okay, so percent increase, remember, is new minus old over old. So the new cost was $4.173 minus your old cost of $1.192 divided by $1.192. So again, here is your formula, new minus old over old. That's how you find percent change. That'll give you a decimal of 2.50. And then to convert a decimal to a percent, remember we move it 2 places to the right. So you get 250% increase. And that is it for section 11.1.